Hi. Working away here at the Exeter Historical Society. I have a lot of questions that come in. It's great that everybody contacts us through the internet, so we get a lot of email, and usually there's a whole group of volunteers who are scurrying around looking up all the answers to these questions. But since we're in the middle of a pandemic quarantine, it's just me. I don't know when we're going to open up yet. We haven't decided yet. We're trying to follow the state guidelines. We're trying to keep you safe, me safe, everybody safe. We'll get to it. I thought you might be interested in just some of the interesting queries that we get. These have all come in since in the last 6 weeks or so. So I thought, I'll share them with you. So someone contacted us wanting to know if we could find a photo from the 1985 bed race held in Exeter. First, we had to narrow down when that bed race even occurred. We found some photos in the Exeter newsletter, but the person who asked about it wasn't in any of them, so I'm sorry about that. I was asked when the Congregational Church parsonage was built. Found it, sent it off, don't remember it, but it's written down. What's the history of the stone wall in the Henderson-Swayze Woods? It's a stone wall, probably built by Ambrose Swayze, and I think that's what he was looking for. Tell me about Leon Hilliard. I did that, sent it off. That was a good question. A lot of times when we use a biography for a person, we're actually sending out their obituary. It's their final word on what their life was, and it generally sums things up. A group of journalism students from Phillips Exeter Academy were writing a story about the Ioka Theater, which was recently sold. So they contacted us for some background information. I worked with Clark Wu, and those kids nailed it. They scooped all the other newspapers, and they wrote a great article. Let's see. Diane sent me a photo of an antique barrel that she has. She sent a picture. Said, do you have any idea what the PT stands for on the barrel top? I don't. Potatoes and turnips? Maybe we'll crack that mystery. Still working on it, Diane. Might be able to find it. The Smith genealogy. That's a pretty big genealogy, but I'll help you out if I can. Reverend Smith, that's still coming. Then we were working on some house research. Someone called, wanted to know what's the inscription on the statue at Gale Park. Luckily, we have that written down, so I didn't have to run down the street, take a picture, but I could have. The Brizzletons needed to know, is the gravestone of Charles Gill in the cemetery belong to the Charles Gill who Gill Street is named for? And the answer to that was surprising, because it was no. That gravestone was actually for his grandson. The original Charles Gill is buried in Massachusetts, so, now we know. We're sleeping better knowing that. Do you know the birth date for the New Hampshire Senate President James B. Creighton? Probably 1790. All of his biographies say that he had a hard life at the beginning. So maybe his parentage or maybe the circumstances were unusual. We're pretty sure he was born here, but we don't know. We got questions about our videos, questions about the Victrola, questions about the first aid kit, questions about my cat, Columbus, and yes, I'm aware he's a chonk. He's under a vet's care. So don't worry about Columbus. And let's see, volunteer Vicki Lucas, squirreled away at home, sent me a picture of this and says, does this look like the kind of ID bracelet that Exeter Hospital would have used? Given everybody in her family was born at Exeter Hospital, it says Lucas right on it, and it does appear to be a baby's bracelet. I'm going to go with yes. Usually this time of year we're doing our membership drive. I encourage you to please join the Exeter Historical Society. You can go online and find our membership form online, or you can pledge right there. We'd love to hear from you. I'm processing those. We're getting a new computer system that is going to be processing things differently. So I'm still working through the bugs remotely with Laura, working remotely with the vendor who is working remotely. It's quite a challenge. Anyway, we're still here. We're working for you. Keep sending your questions because they're what keeps us going, and we are the place to get the answers. Thank you.